Markoski, Positive Property, coming to you live, and today I'm going to be talking about a very simple way to find a suburb's going to be a boom suburb and how to pick it. And I've just spelt that wrong, so I'm about to just update that, so ignore that. So anyway, so how do we pick boom suburbs? Now I had a question in our Black Belt Investors group by Lisa, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to go through this topic, just to answer her question and see if we can help you with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on Facebook just so I can keep an eye on your comments and start talking about how do we choose it. So one of the questions Lisa asked is, how does discretionary spending actually improve property prices? And that's a very good question. Well, here's the deal. Basically, capitalism is all about markets, and when it comes to property is no different. Property is a market as well. The property market, that's what we call the property market anyway. So basically what happens with property is there's a demand supply. So the more people that want to buy property, that means there's more demand, less supply, so therefore people are going to be paying more money. And what happens naturally is when you've got a market like the property market with no sort of set, because with companies that sell product, they've got they're going to sell it for a certain price, and then other people compete and sell it for less. So what happens is with most manufactured goods, they all go down in price every year, right? But with property, no one's really making any more land. Because of that, there's none of this going down, it actually goes up in value because it's very rare, and population of the world goes up, so therefore land keeps going up because it becomes rarer, not less rare. Not more, less rare, exactly. So that's part of the reason it goes up. So when you've got more discretionary spending, what's going to happen is you're going to have more left over to buy the things that you really want. And property is one of those things that people love owning a property, the Australian dream. Everyone wants to buy a property, and I suppose a lot of people want to do that. So let me just open up the Facebook group and just see if there's any questions and stuff like that. So what's a simple way of choosing a good property? How do I choose my properties? I'm going to go through, let's talk about the macro, the big picture, and then we're going to go down to the small picture. On a big picture level, globalization is actually turning the other way around. So globalization is going down. And what's happening is companies or countries that have got a lot of globalization that require the global economy are going to have challenges. Their economy is going to go down. But countries that don't require, that are self-sustaining, they're going to do well. And the top countries in the world when it comes to that are actually Australia, New Zealand, Israel and Singapore. And what these countries have got is, one, they've got a growing demographic of people, so their GDP is going up and there's more money being made, but also they're not relying on outside sources for money. They've got a lot of internal things going on where people are buying off each other and they've got the internal economy going. So it's self-sustaining. And because it's self-sustaining, that actually helps the property market go stronger. So for example, Hong Kong relies very much on international trade and money. And because of that, you're not going to really have a lot of property growth when the GDP and the whole globalization goes down a little bit. It's going to be tougher. See, what's happening is, just last year we reached the peak, and robots actually got more jobs than humans in the world. That happened last year. So think about that for a second, right? Robots have got doing more work than humans. Now, what's going to happen with this whole thing is it's going to get worse. Every year, there's going to be more robots and more AI taking over jobs, and less humans having these jobs. And at the beginning, it's going to be very good for humans because we're going to have lots more jobs to do, because someone's going to build these AI, someone's going to build these robots and continue on. So what's happening is all the low-paying jobs we're getting rid of, right? And a lot of specialised jobs as well. And you know, it's interesting, you know, you have these, like for example, when you go to Coles these days, you've got the checkout place where you can actually get self-serve and go through it. And you see these memes on Facebook going, you know, don't do that, make sure you go for a checkout, someone serves you, so we don't lose jobs for our kids. The thing is, look, progress is always going to happen. I feel like these people that are doing that, no offense if you felt this way in the past, but I'm going to explain to you what's going on. It's like the Luddites. See, the Luddites back in UK, back in the past, what happened was when they created these weaving machines for people, the Luddites were very pissed off because they were losing jobs. And what they were doing is breaking all the machinery and really trying to stop technology. The fact of it is, you cannot stop technology. And you don't want your kids working in a checkout at Coles. They should be doing something more exciting and better. There's lots of other jobs you can do, and with the internet and with everything else like that, there's a lot more opportunities now. So personally, I think it's great they're getting rid of those sort of jobs so you can do better jobs, because being a checkout person, it may be good for some people, but other people might want to aspire to a little bit more, you know what I mean? So I really think that's one of the things as well. So what's happening is we're getting to do more of what we want now than we ever have in history. See, back in the early 1900s, over 80% of people were employed making food. And then tractors came in and everyone's like, oh my God, they're going to take all our jobs. But you can see they haven't taken all our jobs at all. There's still a lot of jobs, but we've only got 1% of Australians working in food production instead of 89% 100 years ago. Now that's pretty awesome. It's good, not bad, because the good part is now we've freed up all those people where they can do other things that are more important or more satisfying. You know, I don't know if you noticed, you know, the coaching industry is going through the roof now because people are getting coaches. You know, you're getting a personal trainer for a coach, someone to coach you for what to eat, someone to coach you on, you know, how to meet the opposite sex, other people to coach you on other things. There's lots of coaches everywhere. I mean, I'm a coach, I'm a property coach. So the coaching industry has become very big, and it's exciting because people are getting to do what they love and share their expertise and help people get more out of life. So it's great. So when people have more spending, what's going to happen is they're going to use that money to get the things they want. And when you've got more discretionary spending, property is one of those things. It's an aspirational thing from when you're born to when you're very, very old in Australia, where people want to own a property. And because if there's more discretionary spending, property prices are going to go up. So that's my bit about that. And hope you're having a great week. I'm going to be doing a live every Wednesday this year at 7 p.m. So if you want to know anything, if you want anything else, you've got to write down the questions in the group. Ask me anything. That's why it's called Ask Me Anything, because I'm here to talk about anything. So enjoy your Wednesday night. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.